Rox D Xebec was insane in this chapter. He kidnapped 5 kings, declared war on the world government, met Imu in the Room of Flowers, and was just chilling. He said he'd be back, and then he defeated and killed an admiral, one that even the best doctors couldn't save. Then he clashed with Harold, the strongest giant at the time. He did all this in the same day. We've not seen Joy Boy yet, but I think if we call Xebec the strongest pirate in the last 800 years, we won't be far from the truth. He also destroyed the Gate of Justice while stealing their ship, gold, and food. Yes, he destroyed a massive gate like that by himself. His attacking power is insane. Even his swordsmanship is unique. His sword sent out massive shockwaves. Interestingly, Loki later started to use a hammer after his fight with Xebec. He was probably inspired by Xebec's technique and acquired a hammer instead of a cannibal. Loki was also impressed by Rox's goal to become the king of the world. He wanted to join him, and becoming the king of the world became his dream as well. Currently, a character with the same goals as Xebec, and the one who I'm sure will attack Marijua and Imu, is Blackbeard. Perhaps now we know why Imu was carrying Blackbeard's poster in chapter 908. Imu knew that Teach is the one who carries Xebec's will, the one who promised to return there one day. Back to Loki. At the same time, Loki just met the real sun god. Will he join Luffy or Teach? I think the answer is kinda clear, but nothing is unexpected from Oda. I was also very impressed by Loki's father, Harold, easily one of the most underrated characters in One Piece. Because of this chapter, I believe he was at least on Yonko level. That panel of the Haki clash was amazing, and it paralleled many other epic clashes like Whitebeard vs. Roger or Kaido vs. Luffy. There were even more parallels between Rocks, Blackbeard, and Buggy in this chapter. Xebec kidnapped the 5 kings as bargaining chips, and Blackbeard kidnapped Kobe as a bargaining chip. Also, we saw Rox's bounty poster, and the similarity between Rox's and Buggy's bounty posters can't be a coincidence. For me, this picture was confirmation from Oda that Buggy is Xebec's second son, and most likely, Teach and Buggy are half-brothers, maybe full brothers. Whitebeard had the sons of Roger and Rox in his crew, and Roger had the sons of Rox and Figurlin Garling. One of the reasons Roger wasn't Joy Boy could be that he allied with the world government, unlike Rox, who opposed it. Rox wasn't Joy Boy either. His goal was to become the king of the world, not a liberator. Luffy will dismantle the current regime to free the world. We know why Luffy was inspired to become the pirate king, but what was the inspiration for Rox's dream? As we know, he had no bounty and wasn't a pirate before attacking Marijua, so did Rox want to become the king of the world after seeing Imu? Rox was defeated at God Valley, and God Valley was erased from the map. Most likely a scenario similar to what happened with Sabo. It's probably because Rox learned about Imu's existence, and once his whereabouts were discovered, it gave Imu a clear target. But is it the same weapon as before? The Mother Flame was a recent invention by Vegapunk and was only recently utilized / tested on the Lelouch Kingdom. Could it be the same weapon but with a different power source back then? His existence is known only by a handful of individuals in the present. Most proof of his existence is gone because he had seen Imu. But there's another question. In this chapter, we saw Xebec chilling in the Flower Chamber, and Imu was playing with butterflies. Why didn't Imu or Gunko try to kill Rox? Did they know that they couldn't defeat him? Then why didn't Rox do anything and instead promise to come back later? That was the most mysterious part for me in this chapter. Is pure strength not enough to defeat Imu? Do you need an ancient weapon, the national treasure, a devil fruit? We can't find out the answer yet, but 2 strong characters chilling like that was really strange for me. Another interesting thing is, why is Imu's existence still so secretive? Didn't Rox tell anyone about the king of the world? Yes, the pirates didn't trust each other on Rox's ship, but I expected him to at least tell Whitebeard or Shiki. He was alive for many years after seeing Imu, so did he keep it a secret? That's really strange as well. Also, why did it take Imu 8 years to find Xebec and destroy God Valley? Imu couldn't find Rox for that many years? If that's true, that makes Rox's abilities even more impressive. But I think, as I already mentioned in my previous video, that Rox was really close to achieving his dream of becoming the king of the world. He could have done it at God Valley. If you want to see more details, you can watch the video right here. But in short, that's why I believe Roger and Garp had to team up, and that's why Imu had to erase him from history. Before talking about another mystery from this chapter, Davy Jones, I want to mention a few words about Shanks, Dragon, and Mihawk, because we can speculate about their strength based on the information we got in this chapter. We saw that Rox and Harold worlds clash was equal. Most likely Rocks was stronger, but their haki seemed to be on the same level. When Dory and Broggy saw Joy Boy's haki, they compared it to Shanks' haki, even though they knew Harold. Mathematically, Shanks' haki is at least as strong as Xebec's, which says a lot about his character. After everything Rocks did at Marie-Joie, he still did not earn the title of world's worst criminal, unlike Dragon. We still don't know much about our main character's father, but I can't imagine what he would have done worse than killing an admiral, kidnapping 5 kings, witnessing Imu, and then escaping from Marie-Joie. Another interesting detail is that even in the Japanese translation, the word swordsman used for Xebec in this chapter is the same word that was used for Mihawk. But Mihawk is still considered to be the strongest swordsman. Logically, Xebec must have been stronger than Mihawk, but these labels always lead us to confusion, so I'm still waiting for Oda to reveal Mihawk's power level. I think his real strength is more mysterious than Dragon's or Imu's. But anyway, in this chapter, Rocks also mentioned that he was a big fan of Davy Jones. Who is Davy Jones and why did Rocks mention him to Imu? I guess we have to go back 800 years. For me, there are 2 options. First option, Davy Jones was someone like Xebec and Blackbeard 800 years ago, the way there was Joy Boy in the Void Century and now we have Roger and Luffy. Most likely Rocks read some stories about Davy Jones and was inspired by him to become a pirate. At least we know he was getting his crewmates through Davy Back fights. The Davy Back fight is a traditional pirate game held in homage to the mythical Davy Jones. It was supposedly created on Pirate Island by pirates fighting over the best possible sailors for their crews. It was first mentioned on Long Ring Long Land Island, an arc that most people thought was boring, but it's a canon arc, so it holds some useful information for the future. After reading it once again, I saw some interesting details. I believe Davy Jones, Rocks, and Teach share the same will. The Davy Back fight started on Pirate Island, the island that Rocks took under his control, and now this island is under Blackbeard's control. Davy Jones's curse stems from his betrayal of a deal with the sea goddess Calypso, leading him to cut out his own heart and hide it in the dead man's chest. Is it possible that Davy Jones betrayed Imu during the Void Century? Maybe Davy Jones is still alive and lives under the sea. We have seen Zunesha, an elephant that was affiliated with Joy Boy 800 years ago. It now wanders through the new world and carries the island of Zhao on its back as punishment for an unspecified crime it committed in the past. We saw that on Long Rick Long Land Island, everything, including the animals and plants, stretches in either length or height. Interestingly, Zunesha has long legs as well, which is very uncommon for a normal elephant. Could there be some kind of connection? In this arc, we also saw some very strange things like Tonjit living on bamboo stilts for 10 years or a soul leaving dead objects. Long Ring Long Land Island was a really interesting arc with a lot of details, which I'm sure will be very useful in the future. Maybe Davy Jones is punished by Imu too, and all the legends about him are true. What if Davy Jones is the Florian Triangle, or the reason why all Devil Fruit users can't swim? Maybe he's the one who created Devil Fruits. Another option is that Davy Jones is the true name of Joy Boy, and he was cursed during the final battle in the Void Century and now sits on Laugh Tale, waiting for the right person to arrive. Maybe Roger laughed because it was actually a true Laugh Tale told by the actual Joy Boy. The Fisher King is one of the most interesting and mystical beings from the legends of King Arthur. He sits on an island protecting the Holy Grail, waiting for the promised knight to appear and claim it. The Fisher King suffered a great wound and was unable to leave the island, so he sits there fishing for eternity, waiting for the promised hero to arrive. Could the very island where Davy Jones was introduced be foreshadowing Laugh Tale as well as the Fisher King? As I mentioned, on Long Ring Long Land, we meet Tonjit, who is the first representation of the Fisher King. He sits on an island with plains that stretch as far as the eye can see with a single house. Tonjit explains to us how Long Ring Long Land operates while sitting around a fire and a pot with Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper. Could this very scene depict how Laugh Tale could be found, as well as the One Piece? Directly behind the pot, we see a 4-way symbol with a circle in the middle. Is that hinting at the 4 poneglyphs leading to the island? What's even more weird is that while Tonjit is explaining the island, Usopp comes up with a calculation and realizes that Tonjit would have to wait 20 plus years to see his family again. This is almost the same as Roger being too early and Toki sending the scabbards 20 plus years into the future. We need more hints for both theories, but there are clearly some connections for both ideas. I hope Oda will reveal more details connected to the Long Ring Long Land arc. It's fun how a small arc like this becomes so important after 20 years. Also, I don't know if you noticed it, but the mirroring in One Piece continues. Egghead was heavily influenced by Sabaody and Enies Lobby. Before Enies Lobby, there was Water 7 and the Long Ring Long Land arc. In the last 2 chapters, there were parallels between Shipwrights and Water 7, and also Davy Jones and the Fox Roxy Pirates game. I mentioned that Buggy and Rox's bounty posters look somewhat similar. For my next video, I want to predict the bounties of the Rocks Pirates at the time, and the bounty of Rox himself. Witnessing Imu, kidnapping 5 kings, and killing an admiral at Marijois for your starter bounty is insane. Write your opinions about his bounty down in the comments and hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Before that, you can watch a what if video about the devil fruit powers of the red-haired pirates. Thanks for watching. Bye.